my name is Noni Matikela. Welcome to my YouTube channel. So today I want us to talk about Judge Ratakulozwa. Oh my God. Oh my God. There is a moment in every major trial where the courtroom stops being about evidence and starts becoming about strategy, patience, and psychological pressure. And in the ongoing Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, many observers believe we may be witnessing exactly that moment, because what unfolded in court recently left many viewers frustrated, confused, and asking one very important question: where exactly is this line of questioning going? Is this even questioning? Is this even cross-examination? Let's break it down carefully. During the proceedings, a pattern began to emerge in the way certain arguments and questions were presented in court. Instead of moving step by step toward a clear legal destination, the questioning appeared to move forward, then suddenly jumps backwards. Imagine someone walking all the way from point 1 to point 96, then suddenly stopping, turn around, going back to point 79. Not because the journey required it, but simply to revisit the same issue again. That is what Ubalo is doing. For people watching the proceeding, this created a feeling of circular movement rather than logical progression. Forward, forward again, then backward once more. And as far as as this continued, the courtroom dynamic began to shift. Because what is this, son? I mean, what is this? Because when a line of questioning moves in circles instead of building toward a clear conclusion, it creates a very particular type of tension, not just for the lawyers, not just for the judge, but especially for the witnesses sitting in the box. You see, cross-examination normally follows a very deliberate structure. A skilled advocate usually builds a chain of facts. One fact leads to the next, and each step pushes the witness closer to a specific legal point. By the time the advocate finishes, the destination is clear. But when the questioning begins to loop, revisiting earlier issues again and again, observers begin to wonder whether the strategy is actually testing the witness or searching for something, or hasn't yet been found, because it looks like Baloyi is busy with a fishing expedition there. He doesn't even know himself what he is doing. In legal circles, this is sometimes referred to as fishing, not necessarily in a dishonest sense, but in the sense that the advocate is casting a wide net, hoping something eventually creates a contradiction. However, that approach carries its own risk, because when questioning becomes repetitive, something interesting often happens inside the courtroom. The witness begins to gain confidence, and that is exactly what is happening. That is exactly what is happening. Ubongani Ndanzi is so sharp, and Ubongani Ndanzi is above Baloyi, the prosecutor, the so-called seasoned prosecutor. Instead of becoming confused or intimidated, Bongani Ndanzi starts recognizing the pattern of Baloyi. And besides, he's been sitting there for 3 years, seeing how Baloyi moves. And now Baloyi is giving more ammunition to him. They notice the same topics return. It's the same topic returning, the same issues being revisited. And once that realization sets in, the psychological balance in the room can begin to change. The more the prosecutor goes back, the more the witness, which is the accused, Bongani Ndanzi, is relaxing, because he's like, oh, okay, we're going back there. I'm ready for you. Do you understand? So, and once the realization sets in, the psychological balance in the room can begin to change, because Ubongani now is here. So Ubaloyi can't even trick Ndanzi right now. The person answering the questions may start responding more firmly, more directly, which is exactly what Bongani Ndanzi is doing, and sometimes even more boldly. That is where we are because of Ubaloyi. because a confident witness can disrupt the rhythm of cross-examination. Instead of being guided through the advocate structure, the witness begins standing their ground. Am I lying? Isn't that what Bongani Dansi is doing to Baloyi currently? At that point, the courtroom dynamic becomes less predictable. Now, let's pause for a moment and consider why this matters in the context of Senzo Meyiwa trial. This case has already captured national attention for years. The former captain of Orlando Pirates and goalkeeper for Bafana Bafana and both Orlando Pirates and Bafana Bafana, Senzo Meyiwa was tragically killed in October 2014. The incident took place at the home of singer Kelly Khumalo in Vosloorus. And since then, the case has remained one of South Africa's most debatable criminal investigations. Years passed before arrests were made, and when the trial finally began, it carried enormous public expectation. People wanted answers. They wanted clarity. They wanted the truth. But trials are not television dramas. They move slowly. Even evidence challenged from every angle. Evidence is tested carefully. Arguments are challenged from each and every angle also. And sometimes the process can look messy or confusing to those watching from outside. Which brings us back to the frustration many viewers expressed during the recent courtroom exchange. Because from the outside, the questioning appeared to move toward a destination, only suddenly turned back again, like a runner approaching the finishing line, only to run back halfway down the track again and again. And for viewers trying to follow the logic, the natural question becomes, what exactly is Baloyi's strategy here? What is his strategy? Is the advocate carefully setting a trap that will only become visible later, or are we witnessing a search for contradiction that have not yet emerged? Because it's not making sense and it's not make sure. Often people say that cross-examination is a bit like a chess, right? The first few moves may not reveal the real plan. Pieces are positioned, options are explored, pressure is applied gradually, and only later does the strategy become visible. But chess also requires precision. Every move should bring the player closer to checkmate. If the pieces simply move back and forth across the board without progress, spectators begin to wonder whether a winning strategy actually exists. And this is exactly where the courtroom of Judge Ratta is. This is exactly where we are finding ourselves right now in the courtroom of Judge Ratta as spectators and observers, watching, waiting, trying to determine whether the current line of questioning is building towards something decisive or simply cycling around familiar ground, because ultimately trials are not won through volume. They are won through clarity. Each question should serve a purpose. Every answer should move the case closer to the truth. And when that clarity is missing, frustration is inevitable. Frustration inevitably grows Kesana up. For us, people who are watching, for people that are analyzers, for the accused, for everyone, and sometimes even for the participant inside the courtroom. But one thing is certain, moments like this reveal something important about the legal process. They show how fragile courtroom momentum can be, how quickly psychological dynamics can shift, and how crucial strategy becomes when the stakes are high. They are very high in this situation. Because in a case as serious as and emotionally charged as the Senzo Meyiwa murder trial, every question carries a weight, every answer matters, and every strategic decision by the lawyers may shape the direction of the case. So the real question now is this: will the current will the current strategy eventually lead to a clear legal breakthrough, or will the courtroom continue circling the same ground while South Africa waits for the answers it has been seeking for more than a decade? That is the question many people are now asking. This is the question we need answers for, because wow, son. And as the trial continues, the entire country will be watching closely to see whether clarity finally emerges from the courtroom. Because at the end of the day, this trial is not just about legal strategy. It is about justice. It is about truth. And it is about finally understanding what really happened on the night in 2014. That's what we want to know as people that are watching the case. So, guys, what are your thoughts when it comes to this? Do you think Ubaloyi will actually reach a destination? Do you think Ubaloyi knows what he is doing? Do you think Ubaloyi is frustrated also? Do you think Ubaloyi, he has reached a point where he just is pushing Ingani for no apparent reason? What are your thoughts? Let's talk in the comment section. I want to hear your views. Thank you so much. I will see you on our next video. Bye-bye.